Oh, jeez.
I'm sure he would.
What time is it? It's hilarious.
No, he'd be
7:30.
right there.
I gotta turn my phone down too.
Okay, Jessica.
Hold
on, give me just a second. Give me 30 minutes.
Another 30 minutes.
Would not look pretty with the flags.
Yes.
Be a pretty city.
They put some faster tubes on these things.
We're ready.
Need a motion to elect a president pro tem for the meeting.
I nominate Jeff Winker.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes. All right, I guess I'll move quarters here.
Change quarters.
Give me a second.
We're tired of you down here anyway.
What's that?
We're tired of you down here.
I know. Move down this end of the town here. There you go.
You don't want to be on this, you don't want to be on this side.
Let's call the roll.
Whitaker,
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Ely,
Here.
Godwin,
Here.
Norris.
Here.
Rogers,
Here.
Schmidt.
Let's stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, approval of the minutes. Everybody's received a copy of the minutes. Any corrections or additions or anything? So those stand as presented. Everybody should have gotten a copy of the financial report. I can entertain a motion to accept the financial report. Moved by Mr. Godwin to approve the financial report. Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes. All right, the agenda, do we have any additions to the agenda tonight? All right.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to approve the agenda. Any comments? Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes. All right, public hearing tonight. Anyone out in the audience? We don't have anything scheduled. Anyone? All right, please state your name and address, please.
Paul Knight, I'm with Rumpke.
Okay,
The reason I'm here, last meeting a couple of weeks ago, there were a number of residents that came forward to voice the opinion. The council members were asking a lot about trash service and whether or not it's something that you wanted to take on yourselves. And we are here to address any questions that may have come up as a result of that. We thought it was appropriate for the residents to be heard at that meeting. And we now want to make ourselves available to respond to any questions that might have brought up in any of the members' minds.
does anyone have any questions of Mr. Knight?
Yeah, one of the things we talked about the last time you was here was at your station. I think it's in Cincinnati. You said you get the ethanol off of the trash.
From the landfill, yes. Yes, we have a landfill that is in Coleraine. It's about an hour and 20 minutes south of here. And that facility captures the methane that's produced. And then it's actually utilized. It's converted to a natural gas and it powers trucks and other things. It actually provides more than any other landfill in the United States of America. So a lot of people have been thinking about, and you were asking some questions about material going into the landfill. Are there any positive uses or byproducts from it? And there certainly is at our facility.
Interesting.
There were questions about like trash bags, are you still planning to utilize the trash bags?
You know,
Residents?
there were a number of things I think that were brought up by some of the different residents, and one of the big pieces were the bags. It was important to, I think, several of those that spoke. What's important to Rumpke is that we understand what the city really needs. What do you want? And then put that in the bid specifications, and then we'll provide it. If the residents and the council want bags, then we will certainly provide that service.
Another question was about sometimes the earliness of the routes disturbing residents too early in the morning, you know? Because
Sure.
not exactly quiet. So that's just something that has, you know, it's been up there about up and out, so.
Absolutely. You're right. It's not the quietest service that you can provide. Obviously, when we're not in the midst of heavy traffic, it's better for everyone. It is safer. However, that's something, again, that we want bid specifications on so that we understand what your needs are so that we can then abide by those.
Are they there before 7?
Are they there before 7? Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes,
It's
yeah.
back 7 o'clock.
So,
Well, and if there are any things that do come up, please make sure that you notify Ryan or Dusty, our representative here in Greenville, because we will address those concerns. I know that there have been occasions where that's been brought up, and I believe it's been remedied, but if it did continue, please make us aware of that.
okay, I'm gonna flip my hat from councilwoman to just a neighbor, a resident. I find when I call to schedule, I did a massive cleanup of my garage. I understood that I need to call, and I did call. I was told that, you know, the stipulations in our city program is that I can have 2 large items picked up per week and scheduled to pick up. Well, since I had done a massive cleaning, I had a lot of items. So I requested that I just go ahead and schedule for the next 3 weeks, just to be on the schedule to have, that there would be additional items sitting at the curb. I was told I couldn't do that, that I would have to call every week to schedule the pickup of the large items. And I just found that a little irritating, and especially since I thought, well, I'm trying to do what they asked me to do. And then I'm trying to be proactive, which I like to do. So I just found that a little distressing when I made that phone call. So just that's something that I would like to have addressed at some point. So I went out and found a teenager with a truck. And then I paid Rumpke Services to take my trash in one fell swoop, which was great for me and great for the teenager because he liked the money, but that's a concern that I had. Thank you. Now I'm back to council, guys.
Okay, back on.
I still have 6 people here. That's good.
You thought I was gonna run away, didn't you?
Any more comments, Paul?
I have a question if you can answer. Do you have a projected increase percentage wise?
I don't. It's a very difficult thing to put your arms around right now with inflation and what it's doing. We would really like to understand what the requests and needs are so that we can formulate that.
Say we keep it exactly the same, like didn't change a thing. Would you have a projection there?
It's very difficult to do at this point. It really is. I can tell you that what is common historically, and don't hold me to it,
Right.
is looking at inflation is a good barometer that we try to look at. The reason it's a challenge in the waste industry, the inflation for us is much stronger than what is reflected with the typical CPI. Because we have additional costs that are going far beyond the standard rate of inflation. An example of that would be steel. Our containers and our trucks, we consume a tremendous amount of steel. the price has doubled in the last 18 months. So things like that impact us are what makes a question like that challenging, where I can't give you a quality answer. So that would be important for us to have all the specifications of exactly what you want, so that the council, the city can determine what the needs are. Be very specific on those, even if it's a matter of multiple bulk pickups at the curb scheduling in advance, so we know what you need. We can put a program or a protocol in place to manage that. And then once we have all the specifics and the detail, then we can give you some good hard numbers in an RFP.
So 3% is not in the picture.
You know, I sure hope it is, but so far what I'm seeing at the gas pump and the grocery store.
I was gonna say, the gas pumps have got to be coming into play here too for you.
Fuel well in excess of $5 a gallon. Yes, it is a significant factor.
Can't you get dumped, or can't you get our trash trucks running on propane that you make from the trash? Methane. or
Well,
methane?
Rumpke has a diversified fleet with different fuels. Some have CNG, but CNG is also going up in price. So there's no hiding from it, unfortunately.
I think everybody needs to apply for grant money from the White House because he's got all the answers to this.
Are there any other goals that the council or the city have that would cause you to address questions regarding those?
One big thing I have is just consistency. Consistency in the time that you show up. Like that's probably the number one complaint I have, just myself, as well as talking to people. Sometimes it's 6:20 in the morning, sometimes it's 12:40 in the afternoon. And as a person of routine, that that messes with you just a little bit. And I mean, you say, well, just set it out at 7 a.m. every morning. Well, that's nice and all, but you know, again, I said I have a very certain routine, and so.
I think some of that has to do with the workforce too. If they're shorthanded, well, you know, that may change their pickup times.
There are a variety of factors involved. If you have a number of people that call off sick, or if there are mechanical issues, there are a lot of things that can affect timeliness, weather. So there are a number of things that can come into play. Of course, we have to be as consistent as possible, but you are strict on routines, or you former military or police, fire, or
Fire rescue, yeah.
fire rescue. Okay. So I can understand that tendency for you, and we certainly aspire to do that. But fortunately, what we're doing isn't saving lives from fire, but it's picking up the trash.
Yeah, one of the things I'd like to see would be that red recycling container.
Mhm.
I think that's a big issue, especially on Ohio Street or any, out on 502 or Winchester Avenue where I live. It's, semis go by or trucks go by and blows the stuff out of there. And the next morning it's in my yard, or, I go down Ohio Street and a lot of the stuff that's down there is all recyclable stuff. It's bottles or milk containers or flower pots or whatever somebody's put in their container. Something with a lid on it would be nice to be in a bid spec next year. That would be from us.
Certainly. Yeah, please.
I think that would help the city out as far as getting stuff that's going all over the place.
And there are other container size options that do have lids.
Anyone else?
That's all.
Paul, anything else?
Just want to make sure we cover any of the points of questions. That's really our sole purpose of being here today. So if we can help, there were some other goals that other folks had mentioned to keeping the city clean and those type of items. Whatever objectives that you have, just please make sure those are brought forth, put in the bid specifications, because I feel confident that our organization is well suited to be able to address any of those needs. It's an organization that's been around for over 90 years now. And that is our sole focus, is waste and recycling services. And we've been in Greenville for about 40 years now. So if you clearly detail what your objectives are, I'm sure that we can find a way to achieve those for you. in a very cost-effective, safe manner, which is something that's really to be considered in our industry, which is one of the top 10 most dangerous industries in America, and on a liability end as well. Things to consider for.
Well, one thing that we have problems with is renters. They don't want to purchase or pay for a dumpster, and they're bagging their trash and leaving it in the basements or garages or outside the garages and so forth. Do you have any way that would help us to, get something done with that type of a situation?
Well, sure. There are different methods that a variety of municipalities engage with. Some are including the trash bill on a utility, like a water bill, something like that. So those folks, they're going to be paying for the service, and usually if you're paying for the service, you're going to utilize it. That's really a win-win if you would choose to do something like that, because what that does is you're already sending a bill to someone. So we're not printing a new invoice. We're not paying for additional postage. Rumpke is no longer actively trying to collect from, say, 6,000 individuals. The city can collect that through those utility bills. Doesn't cost anything extra at all. And then you write one check to Rumpke. Rumpke doesn't have to go through that process. So then there would be some cost savings to the city by doing that. And I think you'd also achieve the results that you're looking for to make sure that you have more people participating.
Right offhand, do you know any of the municipalities that are doing that? I mean, is there a large number or small number?
Tip City in particular, Arcanum. Yeah, we want to keep it market specific for you.
Yeah.
Those are the three main ones that we have in this region.
And you said Tip also.
Tip City does, yes.
Tip,
That's our
yeah.
biggest customer, that single bills. We consider single bill. And then Bradford and Gettysburg does as well. Bradford, Gettysburg, Arcanum, they all see the bill as well. It's right on the rest of the water bills.
Dusty is our local representative, and he knows this area so well. I have a hard time meeting people when I'm in town that don't know Dusty. He's very much in tune with this community. Other questions or objectives?
Some of the issues we run into, like our park dumpsters being full, which some of that could be alleviated if you put it onto the water bill, because it's going to force people to, use their dumpster rather than driving it to the park and dumping it. But some of the events that we have downtown where we have extra dumpsters, like how easy is it to get those dumped rather than just waiting and, so we have the park that overflows. If we have events, we have stuff that overflows. Sometimes seems like it could sit there for a little bit before it gets emptied because we're waiting on whatever. I'm assuming that's just the bid specification, right? Like
Well, it is. You can be in a scheduled service, or you can be in an on-call service, or even call in extra services.
Typically, those are on schedule, and usually if there's an event downtown or something, Ryan will usually call me. And we set it up last summer.
Yep.
We were doing some extra ones on Fridays downtown.
Okay.
The first Friday, get everything empty in the morning. That way for the weekend, everything was empty. Most of those services we talk about parks and downtown specifically, most of those are free service to the city. So
Okay.
they're on a schedule for our routes, but anytime there's a need for something else, Ryan needs to shoot me. Same thing with the school, because they're part of it, part of the city contract. So especially during the summer here, I'll get phone calls from the maintenance guys at the school every once in a while. They need an extra pickup at the high school because they cleaned out a classroom or put like at the K-12 or the K-8, just put a couple of them on hold because they're just using one dumpster instead of all three every summer. So just a lot of communication that goes back and forth in those situations.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, Paul. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is anyone else here for public hearing? Say your name and address, please.
Andy Roberts, 527 Markwith Avenue. Just wanted to announce a special dedication. Since the beginning of the year, we've been looking for a building, a church building here locally, and we have finally found one. So on July 15th, 16th, and 17th, we will be having our dedication, and we'd like to publicly invite the public to attend. On July 15th at 5 o'clock, we will have a ribbon cutting and open house. You'll be able to come in, look at the property, see what we have done, what we have. And then at 6 o'clock, my pastor from Toledo will be holding the service and preaching for us. That will start at 6 o'clock on Friday, the 15th. July 16th, on that Saturday, we'll begin again at 6 o'clock. Pastor and District Superintendent Mark Heine from Sydney, Ohio, will be our guest speaker. And then I will be preaching at 6 o'clock on Sunday for the final day. Just wanted to give a special invite to everybody and say thank you for the good welcoming that we have received in the last 6 and 7 months that we have been here. We love Greenville, we love Darke County, and we look forward to seeing what great things are in store for the city here. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer real quick. If not, July 15th, 16th, and 17th.
Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, that'll conclude the public hearing section, and we'll go to administrative reports. Mayor Roman.
We got a few announcements to make, upcoming events. At this weekend coming up, first thing Thursday, it starts the Farm Power of the Past out at the fairgrounds. Pretty big event. So that starts out on Thursday. I think I'll be out there Thursday morning at 9, I believe, to say a few words for them. Then you have on the weekend, Saturday, a group called Moore and the Boys. They'll be at Sure Shot Saturday night, early afternoon, evening, I guess. And then downtown, don't forget, every Saturday morning at the farmers market. So big event downtown on Saturdays. So 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I think some of you did get to notice, pretty quick notice. You probably got it on your things to say too. The Jordan U trip is going to be promoted in the fire department. That's what I say. Couldn't get out of the mouth. Fire department to lieutenant. So it'll be tomorrow at 11:30. So other than that, I like to ask, how was the fireworks? Did everybody get to see them?
They were fantastic.
They're good.
They were fantastic.
Yeah, that guy does a nice job for us, and I appreciate, he likes to do it because it's close to home. Doesn't have to drive.
I thought it was a pretty incredible finale.
Yeah,
He did
he likes that too.
Yeah.
But Todd does a nice job for us, and there was a couple of glitches, but we got through it, and there'll be a few shells that some reason the electrical didn't go through, and they got 29 shots that didn't go off, and then we'll just add them to next year's show then. So they had some problems with a few things getting wet from coming across the ocean. The shipping container had a little leak, so they had some fireworks get wet. So it didn't help it probably being out to sea for like 4 or 5 months. Probably. I don't know how long, but
Out on the coast.
we ordered them 5 months early.
Wow.
So just a little tidbit to tell you, I think the shipping costs were even more than I told you before. They were like 4 years ago, they were $9,000 to ship the shipping container, 12,000. Next year was 15. And then he said it'd probably go to 30,000 this year, but I think it was more like 30,000. So just on the shipping costs, we're more than doubled. So that's where a lot of the cost goes in the fireworks. If it wasn't for that, we would have had the biggest show ever. But we had a pretty nice show, and it was about the same as we had a couple of years ago. That's just before COVID. So the next year, we're looking for even a bigger one. So it costs money, and I appreciate all the people in the community and the city to donate money towards that. So it goes
A lot of
quick,
people at the
but
fairground.
it was a good show. I appreciate their efforts. And yeah, thanks to fire department, police department, street department, Brian, and fairgrounds. They have a new manager, the Laura Aaron's or whatever, has taken over the managership of the fair. I guess so she was a big help in making sure everything goes smoothly. So, and with that, I'll pass. Anybody got any questions?
Safety Service Director, Mr. Delk.
Thank you, Mr. President. A few things for this evening. First one is we have signed a contract for our natural gas aggregation. It's with Constellation. It'll be a 24-month term, 0.756 per CCF. It'll start October usage. You will see it on your November bill. Opt-out letters will probably start coming out late August.
How long did you say, 24 months?
24 months. So it goes till October of 2024. And then on our electric aggregation, I just wanted to, so we had some complaints today that over the weekend, we had some people going around town trying to get people to switch, saying that our electric, one person said that their our electric aggregation went bankrupt, and then the other one just said that we were variable, so they were telling lies to get them to switch. A lot of times when you switch, the fee to opt out is pretty massive, and it really hampers. The two complaints we received today that came forward, the one switched and now is in the process, and it went from, so we're at 0.499, he went to 10.6. Is what he signed up for. So he's really hoping that he can get out of that, but we're not sure. The other one did not switch, but came in and made us aware that they were going door to door. So I just want to announce a couple of things. One, they have not gone bankrupt. We're with Energy Harbor with 0.499 through December of 2024. And if anyone has someone going door to door, call the police department. It's not 911, it's not an emergency, but call 548-1103. Let them know. Anyone that comes into town and does soliciting has to get a permit through the auditor's office. And if they don't have a permit, then the police department will kick them out of town and stop them from interrupting our citizens. So I just want to make sure that everybody's aware that they have not went bankrupt. Everything is good on the electric side as of now. And if someone comes around, your best bet is to not opt out.
What's the name of the one we have?
The one we have is Energy Harbor.
And that's through December 2024, you said, right?
December of 2024. Yep.
Okay.
Thanks
for that.
Absolutely. The only other thing, our North Ohio project, we sent to bids last week. That was for that, our OPWC, Ohio Public Works Commission funding, and our Clean Ohio Trails funding. That project came in by about $400,000. So if you're over 10% of your bid, then it's no good. So we are going to have to do some regrouping and rebid that project. And with that, I will pass.
Okay, our director is
He's stuck in traffic.
So, Your Honor, Mr. Woman.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. I shall pass for tonight.
Okay. Committee reports. I don't believe we have any, right?
Mine needs assigned.
I'm sorry?
Mine needs assigned. I need to reassign for the transit. About bringing the transit to the city.
Extension.
No, I just needed it assigned. It hasn't been assigned yet. I need to sign because we need to get it done. So we can get so Mike can get our letter written to that. So I don't know how that.
It has to come from one of those two.
I don't know that we ever signed off one. I think we just,
So
we would wait.
She said that it, whatever,
We
expired.
need a new
What's that?
committee assignment.
Yeah, I
Yes,
need a
because
committee.
They fulfilled the last one. They need to do another one.
It's just a new one. It's
Okay.
not extended.
So we assign a new committee assignment for City of Greenville, taking Greenville Transit over from MVRPC, right? MVT, Miami Valley Transportation. Yeah. Thank you. And then do
Next meeting's fine.
next meeting. It's
Yeah.
fine. You guys are good to go.
Yeah.
So
It's
June 19th or July
just go
19th.
ahead and just sign that. Got all that? Good.
Jessica, whatever we had assigned under last time.
Yep.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Right, let's move over to ordinance and resolutions. The first one is a supplemental ordinance. Line for appropriations in the general fund and CIP fund.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. The supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the general fund and CIP fund in the sum as follows. CIP transfers elected auditor and treasurer in the amount of $660,000. These funds are needed for transfer to the CIP fund. Refunds park in the amount of $300. These funds are needed for a shelter refund. Roadway enhancement CIP fund in the amount of $660,000. These funds are needed for 2022 maintenance paving.
Move to suspend the rules, give this second, third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules and give this ordinance a second and third reading by title only. Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022.
Move to adopt.
Motion to adopt the ordinance by Mr. Brown. Any comments? Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, number two, the transfer ordinance, line for transfer of the healthcare fund.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. This transfer ordinance allows for a transfer in the healthcare fund in the sum as follows. $1,500 from RX claims healthcare to vision claims healthcare. This transfer is needed to cover higher than expected vision claims.
Move to suspend the rules, give this ordinance second, third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules and give this ordinance a second, third reading by title only. Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. An ordinance for transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville.
Move to adopt the ordinance.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Any comments? Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, number three, we got a resolution accepting Western Heights Construction Company bid for salt barn construction.
Resolution accepting Western Hyde Construction Company bid for salt barn construction. This resolution authorizes the safety service director to accept the bid of Western Hyde Construction Company for the salt barn construction.
Move to suspend the rules and give this resolution second, third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to give this resolution second and third reading by title only.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
A resolution accepting Western Hyde Construction Company bid for salt barn construction. A resolution accepting Western Hyde Construction Company bid for salt barn construction.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Brown to adopt the resolution. Any comments?
Where's?
Was that under budget?
No.
Is it over budget?
It's about where we expect. It's over budget to where we started, but it's about what we expected once steel prices and where we are with inflation right now
Prices.
Yeah.
Where's that going?
at the street department.
They taking the old one down, and putting it there, or?
No, it's gonna go out front, and then once it's built, salt will go there, and then the old one will be
Not
tore
having it
down.
Face that way, are they?
It's gonna face, let's see.
Facing west.
Which way?
Opening.
It's, the opening is not gonna face west. The opening is going to face north. Yeah, north.
Okay,
Fill up with snow.
Right?
Any other comments? Thanks, Ryan. Okay, call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes,
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
yes.
Rogers.
Yes,
Okay, number 4, we have a resolution accepting the Walls Brothers Asphalt Company bid for maintenance paving.
A resolution accepting Walls Bros Asphalt Co. Inc. bid for maintenance paving. This resolution authorizes the Safety Service Director to accept the bid of Walls Brothers Asphalt Company Incorporated for maintenance paving.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this resolution and read it by title only, second, third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules for this resolution, give it second and third reading for title only. Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ewing,
yes,
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
yes,
A resolution accepting Walls Bros Asphalt Co. Inc. bid for maintenance paving. A resolution accepting Walls Bros Asphalt Co. Inc. bid for maintenance paving.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Brown to adopt the resolution. Any comments?
what streets are proposed to be?
Wagner Avenue. Euclid, Central. Wayne, Harrison, from basically like Fourth to the tracks, kind of where that lead water line project was. Which is out in the park, Bacoba, and then Ohio Street, but Ohio Street might change because of the other project. And so it would have been, originally it was supposed to be Ohio 4th to the bridge.
Thank you.
Okay. call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ewing,
yes,
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes,
Okay, number 5, a resolution waiving fees for Dakota Young as a result of a water leak.
A resolution waiving payment by Dakota U in the amount of $964.88 plus all late fees representing sewer usage and late fee charges incurred as a result of a water leak at 300 12th Street, Greenville, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. This resolution waives the payment made by Dakota U in the amount of $964.80 plus all late fees as a result of a water leak at 300 12th Street, Greenville, Ohio. This resolution has an emergency clause.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this resolution and read it by title only, second, third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules on this resolution and give it second and third reading by title only. Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ewing,
yes,
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
yes,
A resolution waiving payment by Dakota U in the amount of $964.80 plus all late fees representing sewer usage and late fee charges incurred as a result of a water leak at 312th Street, Greenville, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. A resolution waiving payment by Dakota U in the amount of $964.80 plus all late fees representing sewer usage and late fee charges incurred as the result of a water leak at 312th Street, Greenville, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
move to adopt the emergency clause.
Motion to adopt the emergency clause by Mr. Rogers. Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ewing,
yes,
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes. Move to adopt the resolution.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt this resolution. Any comments?
Was this not caught early enough or why, because we've got late charges on here too?
No, so the guy was on vacation, so this portion is just the sewer portion. It's not the water, so the water they still pay for. but they thought a paper for a sewer waiver. So if the water didn't go down the sanitary drain and we didn't have to treat it at the plant, it just went into the ground. That's what the waiver's for. And the reason of the late fees is just because of the waiting to pay to get through the council process.
So he had a leak out in his yard somewhere.
In his basement, and it was a rental, and he was on vacation, and when he got back, the basement was full of water.
Oh, my God. So that was his responsibility or the owner's
Yes,
responsibility?
yes.
So if it was rented, then the renters just let the water flow?
It was empty.
Oh, okay.
He's in the process of redoing it. Something broke in the basement.
Wow, it's a lot of water. Any other comments?
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, that concludes the ordinance and resolutions. New business. We've got the Ohio Division of Liquor Control application for 423 LLC, or first floor and a basement at 423 South Broadway. You want to?
To City of Greenville Council from Chief Eric Roberts. I have reviewed Ohio Division of Liquor Control Permit number 284755 for 423 LLC located at 423 South Broadway, Greenville, Ohio, and have no objections to its issuance. Sincerely, Chief Roberts.
Move that we do not request a hearing.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to not request a hearing. Any comments? Let's call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, any old business? No old business. We have a council representative of the outside committee, Greenville Union Cemetery Board. Who's
That would be Doug.
It's Doug and myself, but I just got elected and have not been to a meeting yet, so
okay.
I don't have any,
So
anything to report.
yeah.
And Mr. Troyon was just here the other.
Yeah, right.
Grass is dead.
Yeah, Tracy gave us a good
He
rundown
gave
of
him
what
a
was
good
going
report
on.
the last time he was here.
Okay. All right. Any communications? We've received some communications.
We received a monthly report of June from the Street Department, Income Tax Department, and the Fire Department.
Okay. Call the council?
Whitaker,
Yes, I just wanted to comment. Last Thursday was a big day for me. But at the same time, we had a dedication of the basketball courts at North End Park that Whirlpool so nicely donated proceeds from the pop-up store last in Oakley. Quite a bit of money, and those basketball courts are absolutely beautiful. Saw a bunch of kids playing basketball there yesterday afternoon, and they enjoyed themselves. They had a lot of good things to say. I asked them how they liked the courts, and they were just having a good time. So it was a great day to wrap things up and tie things all together with Whirlpool and get to represent both working as an employee of Whirlpool and City Council at that event. And it was just a great day. So
We will be having another.
yeah, they're going to be having another pop-up store, and I know that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, yeah, I just was down there where the package store is.
Right?
I can't think of the address.
Yeah, I can't either. Renato was talking about that the other day though, so. Renato Estevez and all the people at Whirlpool, I just want to thank them publicly for what they've done, and we look forward to working with them again in the future. So with that, I pass.
Brown,
What Jeff said there, I got to be a part of that as well. The courts do look fantastic. So that was neat to see that. Thanks to everybody for coming tonight. Certainly appreciate some of the explanation from Rumkey. And be a busy couple weeks with traffic, I would assume, to and through Greenville. We've got the country concert that's starting this weekend. And then we have the King's Royal next week up at Eldora. So hopefully that drives some business this way. And with that, I pass.
Elaine?
Yes, I would like to add my congratulations on your retirement. That's great.
Thank you.
And also, I too attended the ceremony out there at the courts. They are beautiful. And it was kind of nice to see all those people from Whirlpool. And then they were talking and they were kind of like having a committee meeting after the dedication, already starting on their next project. And that's something, it's really good to see that they're just not, well, this is a one-time deal. It's nice to know that they're continuing to do that. And thanks to all of you for coming. It's always nice to see faces out there. So thank you. And with that, I pass.
Godwin?
Yeah, I'd just like to say thanks for everybody coming. Rumpke, thanks for coming back again to this meeting. And with that, I'll pass.
Norris?
Yeah, thank you guys for coming, answering questions and being open. Jeff, congratulations on your retirement. Again, the holidays back to back with the Flag Day and July 4th, the traffic circle looks spectacular as usual. So we appreciate both the American Legion and VFW for the flags. They're donated by families and they're put up by volunteers, and it just looks fabulous up there. We had a good turnout for GGSA, and we appreciate the Fair Board letting us have their signage and flags for the traffic control out there. That went very well. Joel, since you're here, thank you to WTGR radio station, because I've heard several times the announcement that, hey, here's the city's website address. Here's the number to contact the city. And just offering it to the public to know, hey, tune into the council meetings, attend them or whatever. And we appreciate the support of the local radio station. So with that, I'll pass.
Rogers?
Yes, I want to thank the Rumpke people for coming up and answering some questions. And I like the suggestion of putting the charges on the water bill that, that may alleviate some of our situation with some of our trash being in garages and basements and et cetera. Because that costs money to get that out, and normally the city is the ones that's doing that. So, I like that suggestion. So thanks, Paul, for suggesting that. Also, we've got it fairly fortunate in Greenville here, or maybe even Dark County, for the gas prices. I just got back from Shreveport, Louisiana, and through Illinois and Arkansas and so forth. The 5.29, I think, and 5.39 was about the prices in that area. So, we're fairly fortunate here in Dark County at this point. So who knows how long that might last or whatever, but.
Hard to say 460 is fortunate, but.
Yeah, that's right. We thought we'd think that was cheap. And with that, I pass.
Okay,
Motion to adjourn.
motion by Mr. Brown to adjourn. Any comments, concerns?
Whitaker?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?